4, 5, 6, 8. What? What? Bro, at this point we have no choice. But they're watching. Should I ask us directly? Should I ask us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to have the commentators here. I've got no other choice. This legend right opposite. Fine, yeah. Them two. It's just them two. For Pine, don't. Anywhere here. Serious things out here, my guys. It's over there. I left it. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. He's arguing about he doesn't want to move. Testing, sound testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
No, it's live now.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the KFL Super Cup final. I'm here with Murabi Farhad Sab.
Everyone, I hope everyone's having a good day. Out, the crowd is building for what should be a very entertaining final for the KFL Super Cup. Now, for those viewers that do not know what the Super Cup is, essentially there was a KFL Khudan Football League held in both the northern and the southern regions of Jamaat in the United Kingdom. And these are the two teams that have reached the final. So the team in black, over on the left side, is Manchester North, with their captain Rafi Khan, Ali Abid, Umar Shakur, Musa Kouassi, Ghalib Khan, Bilal Tahir and Kesser Butt. And over on the right side we have in the pink kit the fearless fighters from the South region and the winners of the South KFL, with their captain Ibrahim Mir, Zain Mir, Mehshan Khan, Shumal Khan, Muhammad Adain, Ehtisham Memon, Salman Ali, Badr Akhtar, Izaz Din, Fazan Vach, and Kamal Abro.
So clearly, one squad is stronger than the other today. Logistical reasons, as we found out today, for the northern representatives struggling to get is due to but the southern representative, the Fearless Fighters, the full strength squad after having had a very successful KFL 2025. As the teams are already lined up, we're about to referee today is Danish Nasser Sab, part of the Sette Jismani team. Khan, who is just a quick kickoff. Everyone ready and game starts. So a clash of styles, definitely. We've got the representatives who are going to the ball down, use their experience with Ghalib. As Fizzy's here in early, he's played the ball through. It was a good chance early, good little skill to find a yard to play the ball through. Unfortunately, he couldn't connect the pass with his left winger Badr, and now we have a goal kick.
Now, the Manchester North, their keeper is the original keeper, which is why Badr was mentioning that they might be the team that have slightly, a weaker side. They were unable to bring their main keeper, and instead they have brought a youngster. I believe he's the age of 14 or 15 in Umar Shakur. As we saw there with one of his goal kicks, it was a bit untraditional, and Fazan Varech was able to cut it out.
Certainly going to be a lot of pressure on the young boy today. It's a very big event, especially being at Fal. You're definitely not going to be used to these sort of eyes all over watching, the pressure of older gentlemen, full power, strong builds. It's going to be very different to what he's used to at Fal level. It's going to really test him today, and let's see if he's up for the test.
As Butt with the ball into the box, and Bilal is unable to connect properly, and he screws his shot wide.
It's a very well worked effort there. Started from the back, they got the ball out wide quickly.
I think that's something we're noting because, as we said, they don't have this strong team. They're going to play a bit more of a counter-attacking style of football, which we just saw there with a quick counter to Gesser Butt, who put the ball, cross into the box. Let's then bring the ball out. He's pulled it out to Ibrahim Mir. Ibrahim Mir has passed it back to Adain on the right side. Ball across the box. Great defending by Rafi Khan. Great touch by Billy.
That's just gone out for a throw. That would be Fearless Fighter's ball. You saw Ibrahim. He thought he was fouled there, but presence of mind by his players to play on, see if there's an attack available. It was a good ball across. Nothing came from it. And here we are again. A big ball over the top. It's a great clearance. He's put a striker through. He's gone for the spectacular, but it hasn't worked on this occasion. That's what Manchester are all about.
I think what we're seeing here is a specific style of play. They know that they're not in the strongest position, so they're going to play off the counter-attack.
As we've just got another ball on the pitch. Yeah, so that was a great clearance by Rafa from the back, really. He's played it over the top, and Gesser he's looking for those opportunities today. He knows any built-up goals are going to be far and few between, so he's going to be willing to get onto the loose balls as the ball is back in the Fearless Fighters attack, but they've given it away. Mashan's picked it up. He's played it into Ibi. Ibi's There's a call for a penalty here. Referee says no. Clear and decisive decision. And I think he's given a corner there. What did you think about that one?
What I've noticed from the beginning of this game is Ibrahim Mir has taken it. He's fallen to ground quite easily now. There's been 2 opportunities and 2 times where he's decided to go down instead of playing the game of football. And the ref's gone against it. He said, no, I see what you're playing at. So the Manchester North are playing out the back now. They're a little bit shaky. As we said, they're directly going for counter-attacks, but they're playing out from the back is quite shaky. They've passed the ball straight out from the defence there. Now there's another opportunity. Something we saw in the KFL South was Fearless Fighters were very effective with their throw-ins, their set pieces, especially their corners and the throw-ins. So it's something we're seeing here. Long ball in from Ibrahim Mir. It's into Badar. It's back out to Mashan Khan. Greatly defended by Ghalib Khan. Fazan's holding on the edge of the box. It's back in the middle. Great tussle. Great back heel. It's out wide to Ali. He's got plenty of time. Easily collected by Hisham in net.
Great use of the body there by Ghalib. Just took Fizzy's momentum with, played the little backheel pass into the player that was coming into space. It's great awareness of where your teammates are and what's going on the pitch, even though it's not necessarily in front of you. Now Fearless Fighters again, they're trying to build out from the back. Adain is making a little run down the wing into Fizzy's feet. This is what he's great at. He's turned the player, but with a shot, he's put it over. I think that's been the best chance of the match so far. You're about 8 yards out. I think you have to do better there for your brother. He knows he's disappointed, he's shaking his head. Fizan is also looking over, a bit disappointed, thinking he needs to do better there.
Something to note, Badar Akhtar was actually the top scorer in the KFL South, and he racked up a clear, 3-4 goals on the next individual. So he was by far, the top striker of the tournament. Something that they're trying to utilise again here.
Not only was he the top scorer, I think he missed about half of the tournament due to commitment issues. And he turned up at about game week 4, game week 5, and just started racking up the goals. Started from bottom of the tally all the way to the top within a matter of weeks. As Mishan picks up the ball, great first touch. He's just composing, finding the pass, lovely bit of football there. They just want to compose, get a few passes going, stretch them left to right. And then I wonder if he goes down the line again. No, chooses to go across. Mishan picks it up in space in the middle. And I think this is the game plan really from Fearless Fighters. To pick up the ball, halfway line, and just dominate the possession and just chip away at them.
It's something we've seen as well is usually when it comes to finals, as we know in the professional game as well, teams tend to play and start the game very tentative, very sort of tight, and just trying not to concede too many chances at the beginning. So something we've seen, both teams are very well defensively set out right now, but as we can see, the Fearless Fighters are really sort of stamping their dominance over the game in the next 10. Ibrahim Mir with the ball on the right side is gone back out for a corner. Great defender by Ali there.
Maybe he was a bit upset with the corner flag, so he's taken out. Now that will allow him a bit of room to swing that foot around, maybe get a bit of front post. Let's see what he can do here. Oh, it's a lofted ball over the top. I think he's put a bit too much on it. And that corner has gone out for a throw-in by Ibrahim Mir. As he's put the corner flag back in. What good man. Sportsmanship is right up there. And immediately now it looks like Manchester North are trying to push up the field a bit. Rafi seems to be taking the long throw here. See how far up they can get. It's immediately won back by Mishan. Fizzy once again using his body to try and win that ball. The referee has deemed that to be unfair, and it's a Manchester North foul, I believe.
And it's something we need to note with Fazan Varej as the striker for the Fearless Fighters. As someone who shared the pitch with and against him for many years, he is someone who's very dominant in that position. He holds the ball up very well, and we're seeing this already in the first 10 minutes of this game. The defenders are very kind of struggling with his presence, but they've done all right so far.
It's a great ball in, and it's a great clearance there by Mishan. Yeah, and just on Fazan Varej sub again, he's a very strong, tall individual, but twinkle toes. Sometimes he can drop a shoulder, he can beat you for the first few yards and get a shot away. He's been struggling with injury the last few years, but every time he's available, he's been on the pitch and he's pulled out the rabbit from the hat. As a big throw comes in again for Manchester North, it's all a mess in there, and Adain comes out with the ball, looks for the long ball for Fizan, and it's cut out by Rafi there. Rafi with a great ball over the top into the back post. He's hit first time. Incredible chance there. Well worked. Rafi with the vision, the awareness to find that cross. Was that Rafi? Was that? I believe that was Billy.
It was Bilal, yeah.
Yep. Well done there. Great chance set up, and on another day, I guess it probably converts that.
And one thing to note again is this is it's a pattern of the plays. You can see that they're trying to sit back, and they're not offering too many players to go up in attack, so that they aren't easily countered. They're leaving Kessa to kind of free roll up in strike.
Fizzy's at the edge of the box.
At the edge of the box.
He's taken that
opportunity.
He's taken it on the turn.
He's absolutely shanked it over the bar.
On the turn, on his weaker foot. I think we can cut him a bit of slack there. But that was really quickly worked by the Fearless Fighters. They really that Billy has driven the ball out, found the pass early. Fizzy on the turn has got his shot. Now it's just a matter of time. I think. Start.
Now allowing their centre back to actually take the goal kicks, because the young goalkeeper is really struggling with his power, which is something we can't really blame him for. He was drafted in last minute. Now the Fearless Fighters, they're really building it up in the middle. Mishan's really sort of ticking the ball left and right.
Crack here. Oh, it's a wonderful strike.
A very unlucky shot, just over the bar.
Very good shape on that.
I feel like the ball just sat up just before he took the strike, which sent it that 1 or 2 inches just over the bar.
And it's a short goal kick taken again.
It's Ali on the left.
Yep. Can he get the ball back? Oh no, he's going to
staying
drive
very
it out.
composed. He's staying
Ghalib
very
has come to
composed.
collect.
He's pushed it straight into Kesser Bhatt, who's held it up very well. Left it, pushed it out on the left side to Musa. Musa's done well to push it back, but this can now be a counter-attack. Ibrahim Mir with the ball straight out to
2v2 here.
Badar.
Can they work it?
It's Badar 1v1 against Rafi
Oh,
Khan.
well
Great
defended.
defending.
Great defending there. Just stood him up, forced him into the error, and then just kicked away when the ball
Musa
was
turns
available.
back into the middle, plays it to Rafi. A decent control. Well played to skip past the first man.
Oh, there's a
out
bit of
to
space
Musa
here.
on the right.
Can he
He
get a
cuts
shot
in.
away there? Well
Unable to
defended
take
there
the
by the
shot.
captain. And well done by the keeper for keeping it in. Can you find the long ball now to the big strikers? That's a great little ping. But I think Badr has to go up and challenge that. He has to do a better job. Meshan asking for a high foot. Referee doesn't want any of that. You know, I think he's really going to allow the players to, you know, test the limits of what's a foul and what isn't. Meshan again, I think just Meshan has decided to start dictating the tempo of this game. As Zayn finds Badr in the box and Ghalib again there for the rescue. Another corner to Fearless Fighters.
I don't think there's much between this game so far. Both are taking the opportunities, they kind of skewed all of their shots. In terms of dominating the possession, I think we can sway it Fearless Fighters' way.
Yeah.
But in terms of the clear-cut chances and sort of on two very small passes in, I see Manchester North really able to.
Definitely. It seems like Manchester, when they do get their chances, they seem to be more patient.
Yeah.
Whereas we've seen Badr and Fizzy.
That's great defending by
Great
Kesselbach.
defending, great head up, because Fizan was definitely arriving
Lurking
back
at
post.
the back post, yeah.
That would have been an easy header into the back of the net. So as I was saying, we've seen, you know, Fizzy shank at one, but then hit one over the top. So whereas Musa was able to find the pass. Now Gester is open in front of goal. Can Musa find him? He's cut inside. Oh, that's a poor pass there to what could have
He's
definitely
allowed a
been a great
counter-attack
chance.
now. Zayn Mir with
Zayn
the ball
has found
straight
feet.
across.
Now Fizan, there he is. He's found the pass. Ibrahim, and great save by the keeper, and he takes it down.
Great handling by the keeper.
Well done. That would definitely help him settle the nerves. Now, you know, we've got the time.
Plays out to
Plays
Ali.
out. He's rolled out. That's a great roll. And that's a great pass into the striker who's found his winger, who's making the run. Can he get the ball back to him? No, Adain cuts it out and clears his lines. And that's a security bit of defending right
It's
there.
a bit unorthodox to chest it out from there, but you know, when you got Fazan breathing down your neck, I don't blame a player for being a bit unorthodox.
Did you hear a call of a man on?
I didn't, but I could hear his footsteps.
That's fine. I thought maybe Manchester North could have told him he's got a bit of time there.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. It seemed like he felt like he was under pressure and just cleared his line. Now Ibrahim Mir with a throw in. Can he find the big man in the box?
It's great defending again from Manchester North. The thing with Manchester North is they've got three very sort of tall and strong individuals in their team in Kesser Bhatt, Rafi Khan and Ghalib Khan. And them three seem to be really handling the aerial threat from these throw-ins and these corners so far. They've not Fearless Fighters, I don't think, have even won a single header or corner in the box.
Oh, it's a great chance there. Meshan found Ibi on the keeper's goal line, near the goal line.
He's flicked it back and no one's anticipated it and no one's run through.
Yeah, striker's not read that one, unfortunately. And I think Fearless Fighters have made a substitution. As another effort goes just over the bar there.
I think Manchester North are finding a little pattern of play here. They seem to be driving the ball out from defence, pinging it with a very sort of certain pass into Gesser's feet, and he's laying off first time to Musa. Now the only thing is Musa's shots and his accuracy has been a bit off at the moment, but if he can sort of knuckle one down onto the target then and get a spillage from the keeper, or maybe even get a goal, really build their confidence, because they did that pass in that same passage of play maybe
and it's worked three times now, so it's clearly something they've taught. Definitely a tactic. A great long ball over. Gesser gets a kill attempt. Oh, he's put it just wide there, but I wonder if he turns and shoots and gets a goal there.
Yeah, I feel like there in such a high stakes game, he saw his name up in the lights and thought, you know, maybe I can make a back play here, but I think the better play would have been there to either shit it and shoot, or maybe lay it off for one of his attackers in his midfielder.
And a ball takes down the chest and he's immediately swarmed by Rafi. And Musa picks it up again. He shouts to drive, taking a run down the wing. Now Sean's come over to cover it. He does a few step overs, twinkle toes. He played the ball across. Now Billy's on the flank. Can he put a good ball in? He has put a ball in. Oh, that's gone out for a corner.
That's great. The youngster, he's about 16, 17 years old. He put in a challenge there.
Yeah, really well done. He got across really quickly, made sure that he cut any sort of threat. But you know, Manchester North again, they're very quick.
I think there's been two teams that don't know each other, and what's happening, sort of learning about each other as they go. First 10 minutes was all fearless fighters. They were making all the plays. They were making all three, 4 times, ended up losing the ball, but Manchester managed to somehow retain the ball. Finding it very.
Hasn't worked out. Fizzy's on a break here. Can he get a shot away? They've swarmed him again. Oh, and he's worked his shot.
Against Manchester.
You've held him up. You know, compose yourself on the ball. Yeah. Next by Mishan Khan, it's a great ball in. Again,
Manchester North are not
the
letting
head of Rafi.
through.
As Adain takes it down, sends it back to his centre back. Now at the Sham here, he was goalkeeper of the tournament for KFL.
His ability to play out with his feet is so phenomenal, and having played against him, it's as if you're playing against another centre back on the pitch. So when they're in possession, they're able to really sort of keep and retain the ball.
So the first 10 minutes, you know, Sham didn't leave his line, but typically during the KFL tournament, this area is just outside the half, just inside his own half is.
The ball into the box again. Manchester seem not too much to be able to. Khan and Rafi had a very good battle there on the edge of the box, and from my angle, it looked like a foul on Fizan.
I thought it was a foul. Fizan's asking for it, but unfortunately,
I think at the end of the day, in today's modern game, you sort of penalised for staying on your feet nowadays.
Definitely, if you go.
Because the chance was there.
Yeah. That seems like a legal goal kick. Yep, Danish has picked up on it. Now this is the problem with having such a junior player.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows the rules of goal kicks, but he's just panicked in that moment. He's touched the ball twice, and now it's going to be an indirect free kick from the 4-yard box.
Yeah,
what would typically be the 6-yard box. Yeah. I wonder if it's indirect or direct.
It will be indirect. Now this is a very dangerous position for them to have conceded such a childish foul.
Now the referee's pulled it back a few yards. Maybe there's a rule or regulation that I'm unaware of, where he has to give a certain amount of yards away from the goal line. Well done to the referee for picking up on that. Now they've put a 4-man wall in, and they put Ghalib on the line.
They've got just to know, Manchester North have every player behind the ball at the moment. They know that, look, conceding a goal here just prior to the half time whistle would be very dangerous. Great defending again.
They really swarmed him there quickly, and it goes out for a throw-in by Kesser. As Manchester North get themselves organised, Ibrahim Mir has gone over to the other side again to take the throw-in.
But something which, as we were both participants in the Southern KFL and having played against the Fearless Fighters, they were very effective with these. But against Manchester North, they've set up so perfectly to defend these set pieces.
I think the reason for that is we down south, we don't have a duo of or trio of tall players in the team.
Dominant, sort of physically.
I think Fearless Fighters were the only ones who had, two 6-footers playing in the attack for them.
That was a great ball out from defence. Billy with a great first-time pass into Musa's play. Musa now plays it back towards Ghalib Khan in the middle. He lines up the shot. It's a weak and tame effort, easily defended by Adain. He's back now with Rafi Khan on the right side of his defence. He skips past Badr with ease. Plays
Can
the
he
ball
find
through
the pass?
to
It's a great
Kesser.
pass. It's a great touch.
It's a great touch.
But after that, he's sort of composed himself too much and missed it. As Badr picks the ball up on the left wing, he's got support in Salman overlapping. He cuts inside. Can he get the ball to his player or can he find a shot? It's out wide. Can he shoot? Salman has scored! What a sensational goal there by the young man. He's only 17 years old. He's found the space, on the wing. He's cut in and he's found the bottom corner. It's really well worked from the back.
We must give a lot of credit there to the player for Fazan Varech there. He held the ball up so well and he was able to sort of wait the few split seconds to allow his winger in the form of Salman to make that run in behind the defence. He's played the ball through and he's been able to just sort of compose the ball, touch the ball out of his feet and put it straight into the bottom corner. I think even if no chance.
No, that was definitely right in the bottom corner there.
So the ref's blown for the half-time whistle. So
right on
there's
the
20
verge
minutes
of half-time.
either way, so they'll have a short break.
Was that Fazan or was that Badr who made that pass to someone? I think it was Badr. But again, Badr saw the overlap. He takes the cut in. He realizes, the best option here is pass because there's 3 men closing him down. He finds the pass around the outside. Salman looks up, sees there's no one across to play the cross to. Says, you know what? I'll have this one myself today, thanks.
And for a youngster of that age, of 16, 17, to have the confidence to take that first.
Absolutely, yeah. And the confidence is one thing and the execution is another. And that's genuinely a clean goal.
I think one thing Manchester North will now be discussing in their team talk is, look, we've had the chances. We've put the ball into the box. Kessler has held the ball up maybe 10, 15 times. We're not supporting him. We're not giving him the runners. We're not giving him the players. Musa has had it a few times, but he's been really hesitant to take the shots. I don't think they've only had 1 or 2 shots this game. And again, just before they conceded that goal, Kessler easily intercepted. And the Fearless Fighters were able to just kind of capitalise on that.
And I think what will, if anything today was to kill the momentum that Manchester North were building, is, conceding with the absolute last kick of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
As the teams come out again, I don't think there have been any changes from Fearless Fighters. Boys are suddenly uplifted. Change the mood and change. I thought he was holding his shoulder, but he seems to be okay now. No, I think he's off the pitch. Yeah, I think he's hurt his shoulder or something there. We're wishing him the best of luck. Zain Mir and Ibrahim Mir.
Two very well-established brothers in the game of football in the KFL. They've done a very good job. Both were pretty much starters and were on the pitch for all of their games. Now, one thing we need to know is it's a hot day today. Players are really feeling it, especially having run back and forth for 20 minutes straight. As Fazan takes a shot straight from kickoff, trying to utilise and capitalise on knowing that the keeper doesn't have the handling. But one thing is, Manchester North have only got 7 players, whereas Fearless Fighters have come with a squad of 14, I've heard. So they're able to rotate, switch between the players. As Gesser is able to tackle Salman.
Can he find the pass to Ghalib? He does, but it's cut out by Dane, and it lands to Musa. Asking for the foul.
That was a very late. That was a very late challenge from Fazan there.
And Musa's back up on his feet. So, there's a bit of history being chased here today. The Mir brothers, Ibrahim and Zain Mir, will be, obviously they are participating in this KFL Super Cup final. But the game after this, which will be the National Football Tournament final, they will both be playing in that final. So, a bit of trivia there, a bit of history there. Can they go 2 for 2? It seems as though they're poised to get at least one of the two. As Fazan makes a great run again, lets the ball roll, and he's in the box now. He cuts across, and Ibrahim Mir's converted it. It's a greatly worked goal. Fazan, uses a feint, lets the ball run across. The defender is unable to read it. Fizzy uses somewhat pace that he's got left.
not
to
just
get the ball
pace,
across.
Not just pace, because he's such a clever player. He knows that he doesn't have the acceleration he used to, so he's using a shoulder drop there to allow the defender to actually have the stance. He's no longer able to push off his acceleration, so you and drive at a height where he knows that not only can his player hit the ball into the box, can go in off the defender. There, Ibrahim was there to easily tap it in. I think with the inside of his knee.
Yeah.
But that's what the ball into the box was perfect.
Great dexterity by Brahim, to adjust his body as the ball's coming in and just find something to get it over the line. Azali takes a shot and it's fumbled, but Etisham catches it and takes it in. Ibrahim with a great run when Fizzy was, running down the wing. Ibrahim was, really running hard to get into the box, to get on the end of that. And, it's worked out from today. As Etisham, poor bit of distribution. Now can Musa do something with it? He's played into Guesser's shot and well defended there by Salman. Just stood him up, allowed him to take the shot.
But able to keep the ball on the pitch, compose the play a little bit with a great ball over the top. But Rafi has been very solid in his defending, and he's been able to read out. Well, great distribution.
Great pass there. He's found his brother Ghalib on the wing, who does a great step over and beats his man. Can he convert here? No, I think there was a foul.
So we heard it in the commentator's box. The connection of the defender on Ghalib's feet when he initially instigated the step over. So the refs pulled it back for a foul there, as there was no clear advantage after that.
Just outside the box there. Great bit of trickery and skill,
Even at his age.
Yes, certainly. He's showing that he's still got it in him. A great right step over, followed by the left. Very sweet, smooth. Beats his man, gets the contact, stays up. Typically, in that sort of situation, you might want to go down. But he's got the free kick now. It's not the best of free kicks. If Foster Aliyu takes a shot, it's blocked by Badr. Now it's up in the air. Badr uses his strength and height to win the first ball, but North come up. Manchester North seem to have impeded Badr there, and they get the foul just in their own half. I think
what we're seeing here is Manchester North have kind of collapsed what they had going in the first half. Having conceded so late on in the first half, it demoralised.
And then so early in the second.
And then so early.
You don't get to get into your game plan, and suddenly you're 2-0 down.
They've been completely shifted off their momentum. And now what fearless fighters will do is sort of just play for the fouls. They will sort of hold the ball up very well. They'll sort of try to instigate any sort of contact from the opposition, because they know that they're able to keep the ball on.
As a bit of fair play there by the fearless fighters to give the ball back to the Manchester North team. As they take a quick goal kick. Let's see if they can build up now from the back, as Rafi loses it to Badr again. But, they were tossling.
The ref has deemed it as a bit of a push and a shove from Badr's side, so he's given the defenders the benefit of the doubt there. Poor distribution out, but they're able to retain the ball. Bilal with the ball across to Ghalib. He's not got much going on with him. Fearless fighters, they've got a 2-goal lead. They're kind of very secure. Great beat.
Musa with a great move there to go past Mishan, and Mishan does the cynical thing there.
He knew what he was doing.
Absolutely. He was beaten.
He's shaking Musa's hand now. He knows that's a clear, cynical foul.
That's just gamesmanship.
That's just gamesmanship. You just got to know the game you're playing. 2-0 up in the final. You're not going to let the guy take a shot. You're going to take that yellow card every day of the week.
As Ghalib picks the ball up with a poor first touch, and Adain straight away on him. There's no space to breathe there for Ghalib. Adain has had a solid game so far.
We can see the Manchester North players, as they are of the older generation as well, they're slightly tiring a bit quicker. And as they don't have many subs, they're going to struggle to keep that intensity.
And it's the attempted spectacular that hasn't gone his way for Guesser. And Salman has again made a great overlapping run, and he's been found. He cuts inside. Can he find the ball across? No, Billy has intercepted. And now there's a faster break on here. Musa picks up the ball and he drives. He's driving hard. He's found the pass. Ghalib is down on the left wing. Can he cut in? Can he find the pass? It's a great ball, and Guesser has missed it. Guesser got the touch on it. And Ghalib, you can hear it in his voice, the disappointment. He got the touch, and it was the most faintest of touches.
It was spectacular play again from Ghalib. What a slight change of formation and tactic. We're seeing Ghalib play on the left. He's really he's sticking the dagger in the defence of Fearless Fighters right now. He's able to get past them every time. He's cut the ball across beautifully. He just needed a slightly better connection, and it was a tap-in from the line.
I think Gesser will be very... Oh, there's an open goal opportunity here now. Can you find the pass? There's a handball shout. There's a handball shout.
No,
What do you think?
I don't think that's a handball.
I thought it wasn't either.
It was kept close to his body. They're going to call for what they want to call for at this point of the game. They're on a counter now. Ibrahim Mir, ball back into Fazan Varech.
Ibrahim Mir again.
Ibrahim
Oh,
Mir with a
it's a great
fantastic
finish.
into the top left.
It's a fantastic finish, and it's worked again by Fizzy, using his body, his strength. You know, he rides that challenge there. Gets fouled. He thought he was impeded. I thought he was impeded. You know, but whilst falling, he finds the pass to. But yeah, I think it's going to take something.
It's going to take something extremely spectacular. I mean, again, then so in the first half, the principles of getting the ball out of the box at any given opportunity when the ball's put into the box, they're not doing it now. Fazan's able to hold the ball up. He's getting the space. He's just held the ball up there like Badr was in the first half and got the second goal. It's becoming quite an easy game for Fearless Fighters now. They're playing their game.
I have to think that fatigue.
Yeah, definitely.
Has to do. You know, me and you, we were in this competition 2 years ago, and we ourselves were short-handed.
Yeah.
We had dropouts on the last day, and we were riddled with injury that day, and we had to fight through it, and we were finished at the end.
Even now, when we're looking on the pitch, you've only got 2 players that started the game, barring the keeper, or 3 players actually: Adain, Mashan, and Fazan. They're Fearless Fighters know every goal. I've seen them. They're rotating. Ibrahim Mir, the captain, Zain Mir, they're one of their star defenders. He's in and out, off and on the pitch whenever he needs a breather. Whereas Manchester North, they're not getting.
It's a great pass. Musa can Billy find the strike he does, and it's fallen to. Oh well, it's a great bit of composure by Salman there to
Great defender from Rafa there. He's able to bring the ball out from the middle of the pitch.
As 2v1 now here, can Ghalib find the pass? Oh, it's a great Cruyff turn. That's not. I didn't think that was a slide tackle there, but referee seems to think it was. That's fair enough.
I think he's gone in with the momentum. I don't think it's a slide tackle. I think the ref was kind of blindsided because there were 2-3 bodies in the way, but due to our position, he had lunged, stayed on his feet.
That's what I saw.
The ball's kind of trapped under his foot. He's pushed through with it. I don't think it was a slide tackle, but at this moment in time, I don't think they're not complaining too much. The game is 3-0.
3-0 with 10 minutes to play.
Again, Fearless Fighters, they're just rotating. They brought on Aman on the right wing. They brought on Takreem on the left wing, and they brought on.
And we've got streakers. And it's the cutest 3 streakers you will ever see in your life. This is so cute.
I think they might be one of the children of the losing team come to give their parents or their father some sort of.
It doesn't seem like anyone's collecting. No, I think she wants to play. I reckon she thinks she can help the North boys. As Ghalib.
I don't blame her. They seem to be struggling on the pitch. They need a bit of youth in their team. Came.
I'm sure Manchester North will benefit from this brief break. And they're going to take kickoff again, I believe, whilst Ghalib recovers his position.
Bulls, and now again, Fearless Fighters, they're 3-0 up. They've got 2 extremely young players playing centre back for them. They've got Shmail and Salman, who I think between them are 16, 17 years of age. So you can see the youth is really sort of.
Musa gets the chance again with a shot, but again, it's Salman's positioning so far. I don't think he's let the shot go past him once. And Shmail, his now centre back partner, wearing the number 4 jersey. Brother of number 7 Mashan Khan. We've got another brother duo. First we had Zain and Ibrahim. They went off, and now we've got Shmail and Mashan.
The ref seems to be giving some easy fouls to the Manchester North team. Just you might be feeling a bit bad for him.
I am. You have to give Suarez due. They've come down. They've shown up. They've represented. They've given us a good game.
Something for the viewers to understand as well is these lads are coming of their own accord from Manchester, which is about 5-6 hours away. They came last weekend for the actual national football tournament. They've come again this weekend for the final, and they are going to come again next week for the national football tournament again, but the 11 side. So the commitment is never an issue there. They've shown true sportsmanship to turn up. And 3 weekends out of the 4.
It's brilliant to see, you know. It builds on the brother. Oh, it's a chance there, and Kessler has hit the post with his header.
It's a great header from Kessler.
It's a great header.
He's always been a danger at set pieces, but they've just not been able to utilise it so much.
He's made the most of the height advantage that he had there. He's won the header, but it's just not fallen for him today.
Bilal has driven the ball into the box, lost it.
And Takreem is making a run down the left wing. What dribbles. Can he find the pass there? It's cut out by Ali. And Fizan wins it back, goes outside. Can he find the pass? Oh, there.
He was a foul. Ali just kept the pressure on, and I think he knew what he was doing. Just kind of pushed him away from goal. He's going to concede the foul, but try to concede it far away from the goal. Fazan takes a shot, a decent save from the keeper.
He didn't allow them to set up the wall there. Ref blew his whistle and he straight away went for goal. I think Ibrahim Mir is resting himself now. He's not going to probably come back on.
One thing to note is Ibrahim Mir and Zain Mir both have another final directly after this.
As I mentioned earlier.
Directly after this, so it's clear to see that they're saving themselves for that. But in terms of Ibrahim Mir, I'm a little bit confused. He's going to be playing in net. He doesn't really need to rest himself.
I think he wants clarity of mind. The goalkeeper position is you're not doing anything for 90% of the game, and then you have to be switched on ready for that one moment when it breaks and your team needs you to save.
Musa on the break now, plays it
Finds
out
the pass to
Rafi.
Rafi looks for the through ball. Salman once again well positioned.
I mean, unorthodox again. Bad touch from him, but to realign himself and readjust himself there is fantastic.
Gets his overhead kick clearance there. One for the pictures, I think.
And again, I think it's a testament to the talent of Ibrahim Mir. In this game, he's been their star striker essentially. He scored 2 goals for them.
Certainly.
One absolutely striker's finish in the top corner.
It's a great bit of footwork again, and it's a great save by the goalkeeper of the tournament for KFL 2025 at the Sham. The work uses his feet, gets down low.
I think one thing that the viewers can sort of maybe a bit of consolidation or for the Manchester North is, in my lifetime of watching Jamaat football.
Oh, it's gone in!
I have never seen someone with such a beautiful moustache as Bilal on the right wing. That moustache is truly a thing of beauty.
I think bordering on the the legality of that moustache, but it certainly looks fantastic.
But look, I think something positive for them to take out of today's game.
Yeah, definitely. No, they've definitely given us a show.
Like I was saying about Ibrahim Mir, he's going to be playing in goal, so it just shows to their talent. He's back on the pitch and he's playing right back now. He's been all over the pitch.
He's a utility man, it seems.
Scored the goals for them, and for another team, he's going to be playing in goal.
Fizan trying to work into his shoulder drops and shots.
Again, solid keeping from the near post.
So what do you make of this young keeper?
I think essentially he's not naturally a goalkeeper. This is something they made clear before the tournament. And at the age of 15, 16, I believe him to be, you can't expect much more than what he's done today. He saved a couple, decent shots. And even the goals that they have conceded, I think you can't take much away from it. Salman Ali's goal into the bottom corner is setting. Ibrahim's venomous left-footed shot, top left. Again, side netting, you can't save those.
And the other one, it's just been across.
Oh yeah.
And it's Ibrahim's converter. I don't think he's been
I don't think
we had anticipated.
Yeah, all the scoreline is to show. You can't really put any of the blame on the
I
keeper.
don't think Manchester North have been
deserving
of the scoreline.
The scoreline is flattering to fearless fighters, but I think the viewers will also agree is they have been the dominant side, especially after the first goal, last second of the first half. I think that really killed their momentum, the momentum that Manchester North really had. I think their tiring legs really showed, conceding straight away in the second half. And to go 2-0 down, they do say in football it's the most dangerous scoreline, but fearless fighters were really able to keep up that pressure. Fazan really was in his element, holding the ball up. And again, he's in the box again.
Finding 2 assists there.
Yeah.
As a target man, I think that's what you sign up for.
There's not much more you can ask. Again, they're lining up a corner with Takreem standing over the ball. Fazan's asking for it short. He's taking it short. He's holding the ball. He's standing up his defender. Defender's done very well. Gets very well.
Again, he's using his strength.
You just tell he's
Get into the right position to win that ball back.
with a great right-footed, weak-footed pass out to Mishan Khan on the right side.
He's asking for it back at the far post.
He's
Mishan
taking
does
a little
clever bit of work there. He's played it across. Hat-trick! It's a hat-trick for Ibrahim Mir.
That is a fantastic play from Mishan Khan. He does a little flip-flap to send Ali the wrong way and pass it with enough pace just across the middle of the box that Ibrahim Mir couldn't score an easier goal if he tried.
No, definitely not.
I mean, maybe his first one.
Oh, it's a similar chance to when Gesser was unable to convert, and it just shows that
fine margins.
you have to take your chances in these these shorter format games. It's 20 minutes each way. You have to impact the game whenever you can. As a great flick on, and Bilal just rushed his decision there. I think he probably had time to bring it down, find Ghalib at the edge of the box.
But there was a push in the back of Rafi as he went to flip the head on.
And I think this one you just stick a boot through it. At this stage, you've got about 5 to 7 minutes to play. You're 4-0 down. It can't really get worse.
One thing, a young keeper in net for Manchester North, he's not really dominant of his goal, and I think that was to show with the 3 balls across the box from which they scored from. A natural keeper, someone I've seen Ihtisham do, he's not on his line. As the player's running down the line, he knows that he's going to cut it across the box, so he takes it 2-3 steps out, and he's made 1 or 2 saves like that. Whereas as the keeper is very inexperienced.
It's a great touch there by Bilal to flick it on. I guess his attempted free ball gets cut out, and Billy's twinkle toeing now. You got Rafi asking for it as he finds a great pass on the outside. Can he find the cross in for Gesser? It's a great ball in, and Gesser has had another chance gone by the wayside. It's just not been his day, unfortunately. Ghalib on his knees, Gesser is down on his knees.
I think it goes to show the lack of bodies that Manchester North are able to bring. They're not their starting striker. Gesser is in fact their centre back. So as viewers of the professional game will know, when dominant centre backs play up top, usually not for that. So in that sense, you can see he's got the instinct to get onto the ball, to win the ball with his head, but to put it into the back of the net, he's been lacking today. He's had a few very clear-cut chances, which if he'd put away, the scoreline could be different.
It could very easily have been 4-4, 4-3 right now, and they've got something to fight for. But instead, we're sitting at 4-0 to Fearless Fighters with 5 minutes to play. I think now they're just rotating players, winding down the clock, making sure all of their squad gets minutes. It's a good take again from Badr and Ali with the clearance. Who's got the touch here? Who's got the touch? No one. Takreem and Rafi go at it. Rafi wins the header, uses his height there.
Badr
But
again.
Badr recovers, gets out to Shamail. Shamail with a great little turn there, sends it back to Takreem. I think he's just been caught there, but they'll play on. They'll play the advantages. Mishan picks up the ball, drives the ball, goes out wide, and Ali intercepts there, but it falls to Oman, who plays out wide to Mishan again, and it's not a great pass, unfortunately. A better pass there, and you could have had another chance to score. You've got Takreem and Badr waiting inside the box.
I don't think Fearless Fighters will be worried about that.
No.
4-0 up. I don't think. I think they know the game's in the bag. Mishan really in his element.
They tried to work another pass here, and Oman come out with it and find the ball across to Badr. Badr lines up, the top scorer for KFL South takes his shot.
He's taken a bit of a backseat this game. He's played more of as a playmaker style, and usually when you have 2 very similar sort of centre forwards in the form of Badr and Fazan, you tend to accommodate for either one. So due to, I think, his physicality and the ability and his fitness over Fazan, they've utilised him on the left side, and he held up. So I don't think take away that he's not scored today, but he's really played well.
I mean, he showed his worth at the KFL South tournament.
As a fizz ball into the box again.
Great.
He was not able to do anything. You can see Gesser down on the line. His legs have given way. I think up and be the striker. It really shows.
As they come from the easy young, he's got to take from this game. He's made some. As a great header there by Shamail just to send it back up, and the youngsters of Fearless Fighters have absolutely won that ball back on their own. Shamail is 17, 18. Salman is 17. Takreem is maybe not even 20 yet.
Yeah.
So well done to them. Showing
Again, Ghalib
experience beyond their years.
on the left side, he's really been. He's played the ball back into the middle. Rafa's holding the ball up. He's played the ball out wide to Bilal.
Can you find a shot here? This is shooting range. Oh, it's just.
It was shanked, but Shmail, he thought it better to intercept it, and he's flicked it back for a corner. Gone anywhere.
Very fortunate there that it didn't go into the back of the net. Certainly, all I suppose that was a by the presenting this balls. The Super Cup stays down south this year, I reckon.
I think, yep, this year I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
Again, Rafa there, you know, they've been very solid in the air. He's headed it. I think he's hit the back side of the bar. But again, you know, fine sometimes.
I'm will definitely want this clean sheet, but they haven't helped him in that case today. Billy makes a run. He tries to play the ball across. The shout was there for edge of the box. Billy didn't hear it. Can he take a quick throw in? Ghalib with a flick on. Guesses at the back post. He just saves it from going out, and Rafi can bring it down now. What can you do with it here? There's a man edge of the box. Ali's picked up the ball. He's played it across to Bilal. Can he find a pass? The shout is to shoot. And again, Aman finds a toe in there and just clears his line.
Fearless fighters are really just defending the line now. They know that at any point that they win the ball, it's straight.
Ghalib gets to edge of box. Can you do a bit of trickery, a bit of magic? Gets his shot off. Meshan there to cut out whatever there is. And Bilal with a strike, and it's again safe hands for Tasham.
I think you're seeing the difference in keepers here as well. Any given even bounce, shot on target, he seems to just be very secure.
Yeah, on top of it.
And even his distribution has been top. He's really pushing the Manchester
Here
North.
he is. He's put the ball down. He's going to roll it out.
Back foot. He's going to ping it in behind the defence.
It's a great ball to Brother who's flicked it onto Takreem. Takreem can use his pace now. And a bit of trickery there. Goes for the nutmeg. Doesn't work. Musa's wiser for it.
But he's won it back.
Come out with it. Brother with a shot. And it's another save from the young keeper. It was out straight at him, but he still had to get an arm to it, and he has. And it's a fast break. Ghalib, can he show us a bit of magic here? He rolls the ball on, uses his body in a great way, and Salman, once again, Salman finds the interception, and they're tussling for it, and well done to Salman for cutting out that attack.
That's an interesting sort of image to watch as you see someone who's pushing the Ansar age against someone who's just turned Khudam, and it's a top battle.
Great observation.
It's a great battle as well.
Rafi with a header. Oh, and he's put it into the back of the net. And they finally found what they were looking for. It's come about 35 minutes too late, but it's come nevertheless. As the referee calls time on this one, it's been, you know, a good match to watch as a neutral.
Yeah.
They've really, you know, shown us all aspects of the game. They've shown us, you know, long ball, finding the target up front. Styles where, you know, they've worked it out from the back. You know, Adain a couple of times drives out from the back, plays it into his striker. Striker finds his winger. And, you know, it just shows the versatility that we can produce at these sort of events. So I know who my man of the match is on. I'll let you have a guess.
I think when it comes to man of the matches and finals, you got to really give it to the one that sort of stamps the authority on the game. I think, to be honest, there's quite a few players in contention. I think you got Badr, who played very fantastic. You know, knowing that his initial position as actually strike, he shifted out to the left. He was beating his man, holding the ball up well. Even got an assist in there. But I think overall, if you look at Ibrahim Mir, his contribution to the goals, a hat-trick in the final, you can't take it away. It doesn't matter if all three goals were on the line and you just had to touch it and you got a hat-trick in the final. You were the player in that position. So I think hats off to Ibrahim Mir. Fantastic performance in the final. Managed his team very well. He was able to rotate in and out. Players you could see, I don't think there any fatigue. He knew which one to take off which player. So that's a sign of a great captain as well. I think he signed a long-term deal to actually stay captain in the KFL South. Considering he's just won the Super Cup as well, I think he'll be more than willing to.
So just quickly on Ibrahim Mir there, his journey for this year's he was appointed as a captain during the drafting process. And that's how with budgets, um, Ibrahim in the limb to draft Fizan Vraj, one of the prices in the draft. Given the fact that Fizan was injured due to the first half of the tournament, Ibrahim still went out on a limb, drafted Fizan, traded in for Badr. And in all fairness to them, they were not seen as a strong team, a strong contender. But they held their own. They got the best out of players like Adain and Zain, Ibrahim and Mashan. They carried the bulk of the attack for a lot of that. They had great help off the bench with Aman. Salman really stepped in, being the authority in that defensive line.
I think they had a perfect blend of youth, but I think it's time that we're now seeing the walkout of the next game, which is the National Football Tournament, the seven-a-side, which happened last weekend. And for the final, we have two fantastic teams, two reoccurring teams, two teams that are very familiar with this stage and this opportunity that they're given to play the final in Islamabad. We have the Betan Noor side in the white, and we have the Tahir region side in the red. Now, the starting seven for Betan Noor. In goal, they will have Umar Bhatti. In defence, they will have Mubin Majid, Shajil Mir, and in midfield there will be Mubariz Ahmed. And on the right wing, they have Shujat Varech, and on the left wing they have Ahsan Zafar, and on up strike they have Arib Kaisar. Now for the bench, they will have Burhan Khan, Walid Chaudhry, Shahid Khan, Faris Ahmed, and Masroor Chaudhry. Now moving over to Tahir region, in goal we have a familiar face for those that have been.
The man of the match.
The man of the match for the first game. We have in goal Ibrahim Mir. In defence they have Uzair Khan, Zain Mir. And in midfield they have Hasib Chima. And on the right wing they have Tawfiq Khan. And on the left wing they have Musa Maqsood. And up strike and in strike they have the star striker for Tahir region, a player who's not unfamiliar with this opportunity or this level, having been their top scorer in many tournaments, whether it be the Ijtima, whether it be the national football tournaments. We have Vaji Rahman. For the bench, we have Tosif Chaudhry, Kivan Mahmood, and Tohi Chaudhry.
As all players shake hands with Sadr Saab, being introduced by their captains. The captain for Tahir region. And Mubin Majid will be the captain for Betan Noor. Certainly a bit of history on the line today. If we just go back the last few years, Betan Noor 2 were champions here, defeating an East team by narrow margins. That was their first win in that had been in the works for a long time, and then they finally got over the line, and they were victorious. They were national football tournament, and then they followed it up last year with a very dominating performance against Tahir region, who are back here again. So they are chasing the three-peat of Betan Noor, which is a very rare sort of historically within Khudam football.
I think just across the board in general in sports, it's very difficult to find a team that three-peats. That's why when Manchester City did, United have done it in the Premier game. So region that haven't much until first maintain the team that they have, and the fact to actually mention one of their star players that is out for today's game due to a hamstring injury, but he fought tooth and nail to actually bring them to this final, is Khan, who is unable to play today due to his hamstring injury. So that he would be a massive miss. Now, will they feel the miss? Really feel it on the pitch? That's for the viewers to see when the game starts.
Semi-final for him, and it took some seasoned young players up. Who's scored another goal. Core three of Shujat Varech, Mubin Khan.
Technical difficulties difficulties, which is why we don't have any visual at the current moment. So you'll just have to be entertained by the voice for now, up until the game starts, which by then, inshallah, we'll have visuals. But again, this is more than just like a final between two teams. You're seeing the two captains exchange backs, which is a great show of gamesmanship. Not only is it a national football tournament final, but the Irish region know that they lost this final to the same team last year. So in essence, you've got a bit of a rivalry brewing, a friendly rivalry, we'll say. As I've always seen these two teams be very compassionate towards each other. The visuals have gone. We're seeing the star striker Vajir Rahman warm up his star goalkeeper Ibrahim Mir. Ibrahim Mir again being a very important sort of figure for their team reaching the final, as we were both there viewing the games last weekend. He saved in both the semi-final and the quarter-final. He saved the game-winning penalty as the games had gone to penalties. So that's no easy feat. So this is a big game, big stakes, bragging rights. Join us, see who wins.
As both teams just ping the ball around, getting themselves composed, getting used to what the pitch feels like. And you know, Tahir have been a big name in Khuddam al-Ahmadiyya football in the UK. You know, they've always been a team that's pushed the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, the finals. But for some reason or another, every year, every tournament, they seem to fall by the wayside. They're here today, you know, to get out of it. They continuously has gone by.
One thing to note is that both these teams are maybe the only two teams in this year's NFT and National Football Tournament to have more or less the same starting seven, or the majority of their starting seven, as they've had for maybe the last 3 to 4 years. So they both play probably the best football between them.
As Sujat each strikes one into the top bins.
Off the bar, in and off the bar. But so you can see it just from the end, and the viewers will also be able to see it, that these two play very sort of quality football and expansive football. Really playing with the ball on the floor, playing football that we associate with teams such as Barcelona or Real Madrid. So for the viewers, you're in for a great watch as we see two teams really hash out again. Who will be champions? You know, who do you think?
For this. Now, the upset is on the cards completely. I can see an upset happening here. You know, Thai region are a fine team. They play each other week in, week out. But, you know, Battle Noor, I think will be better of mine, be more confident. They know that they've had one over this team. They're here to say that for us last year.
As much as it's a physical game, a game that's played with your feet and your body, it's going to be a mental challenge for both teams. Like we said, teams that win competitions back and back, it's very difficult to stay motivated, to keep yourself motivated. You know, will be able to take that complacency out of the game, knowing that, look, we've already won this competition 2 years in a row. Do we really need to win it again? 3-peat is on the line. Can they win it a third time in a row? I think that's what they're praying for right now.
Yeah,
as they engage in dua, they're probably praying that may Allah keep that complacency out of them and they're able to actually keep that expansive football. Now, you know, are they able to break that mental they lost to them last year, knowing that it was their own fault that they lost to them, that they made their own defensive errors? Can they overcome that hurdle, not only physically but mentally? As Tahir region have already given sort of the crowd and really sort of pumping everyone up.
just produced a loud chant that the pitchers heard. It's 5. So I'm gonna ask you now, who do you think's winning this one?
I think you always have to back the team that has something to prove. I think with me, that's always what I go for. I see Tahir Region really having the bit between their teeth right now and really thinking that, you know what, we have that extra 10% to show something and fight for it. As we see Shootout with the long ball up to Ehsan Zafar. Hasib Chima with a great sort of pass out to the left side. You have Uzair battling with Shujat. Back out to Ehsan on the left side. As we can see, the football here is a lot more composed. 1-2 ticking the ball about. Both teams very high technical players. Mubarak in the middle was one of their star players, really dominant for them. Scored ultimately the penultimate goal in the semi-final, which essentially gave them momentum to get the win over the line. As Mobeen has the ball on the left side, plays it to Shadil Mir. Again, one of the star sort of young defenders of the tournament. Again, out to Adib, he's about 15, 16. And for him to sort of fit straight into the team in the absence of their star striker Rahan is very difficult.
Okay.
You can never of place.
And they're still tussling in the middle, and Tafiq is surrounded by 2 men, and Arib just gets a toe out before Wedgie was about to turn.
I think what we're seeing both teams being a bit tentative. There's a bit of slow touches, lazy touches. You're seeing it. Players. What we need to realize, you got a crowd watching, you got families watching, people are on live stream. They know they're being watched.
It's a ball over to the top of Hasib Chima, and it's a poor first touch from him.
That was a great ball from Zain.
And a few minutes into the game, that's on the plate for him to turn and shoot.
Yeah, like I was saying, lazy touches. You're seeing the pressure get to players.
Yeah, nervous start, definitely.
Late tackles. So as we're seeing, we're having a little bit of an issue with some of the crowd involving themselves in the game of football. The younger Atfals. Eager for the game, so inshallah we see them here on this stage.
And that's what this event is all about, right. Having the families around, having a nice barbecue, burgers and all of that good stuff going. And it's to encourage young Atfal to stay interested in the game of football. Maybe they'll see themselves playing on this front in a few years' time, and
I mean, you see the teams that come from up north show the dedication because they know that they're given the opportunity to play on the same blessed grounds which Azure Aktas walks on on a weekly basis where he resides on. So it's such a great feat for these teams to really show that dedication and passion to get here time and time again. So like I said, as we're saying, in terms of the game, it's a very scrappy game compared to what we really thought it would be, as the ball gets pushed out to Shujat Varech on the right side.
But again, he's just unable to find the pass.
That just again, even
now, that wayward pass by Shajil and a not a great touch by Mubin to get it under control. As they've just easily given away possession there.
I think what we need here is, the first 10 to 15 to sort of close out, teams to sort of settle in their plays. You'll see certain pattern of plays coming out. Tahir region trying to really ticky-tack here between them. Again, we've got another coalition, or you could say a brotherhood. We've got Tawfiq Khan and Uzair Khan, both fantastic players for Tahir region. You can tell it in the way that they tick the ball about, as Shujat Varech is actually pushing through on the right side, puts the ball through the middle to Ayub Khan. Great defending again from Zain. As Hasib Chima pushes the ball out to Waji. Great turn.
And Mubin has absolutely gone through him there.
Absolutely clear foul.
Referee's blown his whistle straight away.
It's a clear as day foul.
A few comments there by Waji, smiling. He's laughing about it.
One thing I think viewers can really appreciate about certain players here, such as Wajir Rahman, they always play with a smile on their face. It's great to see. Some players, they have a distasteful attitude on the pitch. But Tahir region and Betanur, both very sort of jolly characters and really just in it for the love of the game.
As Betanur called their first substitution, a change down up front, I think. And Waji stepped up to take this free kick. Any guesses of what he's thinking here?
I think he's thinking to put in the mixer. You've got talented players in there. Put in the mixer. Kept the ball low, going out for a corner.
Yep, well driven.
And now, having played with Vaji on many occasions, I know exactly what he's about to take. If he doesn't take it, I guess I will leave the commentator booth.
Please don't leave me. It took enough convincing to get you here. Please don't leave now.
He's going to whip it in very low and hope for a deflection off of either his own player or the defender. Put in low. Betanur were able to get the ball out.
Essence picks it up and slows the. This is excellent football.
This is
he slowed the ball down there. He's found the right pass. He's allowed his players to set.
Something. Wajir Rahman with a great press puts the ball back into the box, into the middle of the park, but unable to keep the ball. Something about Essence Zafar. He plays with a nonchalant style, and it's something very, very easy on the eye. But he's a very effective player. He's in contention, I've heard, to be player of this tournament again. After having received, I think 2 years ago now, or last year?
Well, I believe last year he personally felt a bit hard done by the decision that when he didn't get it, I think he got top goal scorer. But he was certainly, deserving of the award.
Zain Mir pushes the ball out to Balat.
Hasib with a great bit of work there. Beats Essen, but Essen recovers the ground and drops the shoulder and finds a bit of yard again. It's a ball in, but Shajil Mir is there to clear up. As Essen gets it again, and a very nonchalant, effortless pass out wide.
Out to Shujat. He's closed down very quickly. What we're noticing is Shujat Varech is probably one of their star players in the absence of Rahan Khan due to a hamstring injury. So what I'm seeing is when Shujat received the ball, you're seeing two Tahir region players on him like hyenas. They know that this guy, he's got a wonderful left foot. You think of your Gareth Bales, your Roberto Carlos's. He's the Jamati version. He can put a top bins from any on the pitch, especially dead set pieces. So again, he's there. He's got his left foot. He's whipping in the corner. He'll go for a similar attack. He might even go for goal.
Oh, it's a high whip pass back post from Mubin, who headers it across. But
it's a counter attack for Tahir region now.
Now Uzair and his brother Tawfiq are making a run. Oh, and they've just been unable to communicate what they wanted to do. And the ball has been recovered by Betanur as Sujad tries to, win a bit of possession in the middle, but he's cut out by Uzair. And Tawfiq has worked hard to allow, Tahir region to set back, and he's given that throw away. Again, we see Essen just, not in the mixer, just on the edge.
I think what we're seeing again is similar to what I was saying earlier. Your first 15-20 there. Both teams are really being a bit. They're not playing the expansive football that we're used to. They're not taking the risks yet. We'll see that happen when maybe a chance happens or a goal goes in. The other team really gonna have to start to open up.
And
as Hasib Chima puts the ball over a bit too much on it for Vajir Rahman.
And Umar Bhatti, a great goalkeeper who's been a goalkeeper for many a year now, was out quickly in case Waji was able to get the ball, to put pressure on, to maybe kick the ball out, clear his lines. And
that anticipation is it comes through years of experience as a keeper, knowing that a player of Hasib Chima's quality will put a ball at the back stick. As when Mubin tries to actually whip one in, it reaches out to
Shajil's gone for a strike, and it's intercepted by Musa again. Uzair's picked up. He tried to find his brother again.
Uzair has shown some lazy passes so far this game.
It's a great ball in behind, and Essen was there, but he just wasn't there quite quickly enough.
You could say, in a nonchalant manner.
Oh, I think he walked over. He didn't even sprint. It looked like a walk.
Sprint back to follow Hasib Chima because he knows he's a danger man. Hasib Chima, as I was saying, look, they see Dire region really feel it out as Zayn Mir takes an awful.
As a lapse of concentration there by Zayn, and the ball
I think
evades his foot.
He should really have maybe pretended to injured himself. They just
I think he pulled the face, but his captains told him to.
His captain told him to
sort himself out. Let's get back in position.
What we're seeing now is Hasib Chima really sort of moving up the pitch, taking the risk to sort of move up, because he's really the in that team.
And great pressure being applied by Waji. He seems to get foot onto it every time Mubin gets the ball.
And that's something he's going to do all evening.
Yeah, he's going to be relentless this evening. And Shajil picks up the ball, and again straight away Sujat doesn't have time to breathe. His first touch has to be on point, which it has been, to be fair to him. But it has to be on point, otherwise it's going to get taken. As the ball across by Tawfiq has hit the referee. So, an indirect ball.
So, Dire region are really trying to sort of implement their style, which is sort of taking it out from the back, quick into the midfield. Balak has to take on the player. Tawfiq really does recovering. For those who are hearing calls of Bai, that is not Tawfiq's name, rather it's Uzair Khan showing the and love he has for his older brother Tawfiq in the middle of the park, just receiving the ball. So if you hear it very often, it's because they have a very good connection. They pass the ball ticket between each other.
Now they're hanging it left to right.
Now they realise that sort of that trying to get from back to front ASAP wasn't really working. As Wajid drops deep to actually collect there, he plays it back to Zayn, who plays it across to Musa, who plays it back to Ibrahim Mir.
And that's the benefit of having a goalkeeper who can give you a hat-trick in the KFL Super Cup. That right there is that. As Waji's in on goal here, Waji has a chance there. Oh, he's just missed.
Great defending. I think not to take too much away from the defender there, Mubin. He really sort of recovered as soon as Vaji took the touch.
And Waji took his first touch into the stride, and he thought he had a shot on, but the defender got his foot in the way, and it just fizzled out and went out for a goal kick. And again, a great ball down. Oh,
are we too close to the mic?
And Hasib is in behind here, but Essen is there to recover. And Danish has pulled it back from another foul by Mubin on Waji. I think this right here is going to be the key battle for today. Mubin versus Waji Rahman.
As we see Waji Rahman, he actually gives over the free kick duties after the last one was too low. So they've passed it over to Musa Maqsood, again one of the elder generation who's really kept himself in fit nick. Over to Tawfiq Khan, bit of a tame header to be honest, easily collected almost in that.
That's a bit harsh. I think it just died on him there, and he still got ahead to it, put it on target. But it's a bit far out, and there wasn't a lot of pace to work with.
True.
But it's a great delivery. who's kept himself in immaculate shape. He's always been at every tournament, year in, year out. A great ball over the top. What do you take? Support. That could. You know, it, again, he's back to that relentless pressure that he's going to be applying on the defenders all night. As Mubin picks up the ball with a bit of space, and now he's going to look to drive it.
Mubin driving it out from the
brings
defense.
it inside, goes back outside, and Essen hasn't followed the run. And Mubin has shown his
frustration,
and he doesn't approve of his winger being behind him in any situation.
I mean, he's right there. I think as a defender myself, when you are taking that choice to drive out, you really want your winger to sort of give that option, open up the play. So for him to step back and be behind you, it sort of takes away an option for you. As Zayn Mir actually drives out in a manner that we were talking about, and Balak giving him the option that we were just speaking about.
Oh, it's a great drop the shoulder again, and it's a ball across, and Umar Bhatti. He's put out Sajjad Faraj down the wing, but Musa
with a great recovery pace,
great positioning, knowing how to manipulate the body there. Great cause of man on there, so he gets rid of the ball. And Tafiq again picks up in the middle of the pick, dictating the play. Wadji finds a bit of space there, and he's just absolutely hunted down by what it seems like 4 players around him.
I think, again, yeah, absolutely. That we know that he's a danger man for them. He's going to try cutting on his right. He's taken a great initial touch there, but again, like you said, he's hounded. You got 2 men on him. They don't want him to take that shot. They know that if he takes that shot, more likely it's going to end up in the back of the net. Here he comes with another corner now. Same tactic. It will go low. Oh, he went short.
Oh, he's got it back though. He gets the ball across eventually, but there's only 2 Thai region players in there. As Musa gets another ball across again, there's only one real target in there because Wadji was still recovering. As Ibrahim, the hero of the semi-final and the quarter-final, picks up the ball and plays a great ball over the top, and Naseeb Chima's gone for it. And the pockets of Umar Bhatti there.
He nearly sneaked in at the back. One of the keeper. Right. Knowing that you've got a player at the level of Hasib Chima rushing you from behind, and you're able to still maintain that grip on the ball is impressive.
I don't think he saw him coming, to be fair. He seemed surprised after he caught it.
That might have worked in his favour, actually.
And that certainly seems like a handball from where we're at, and the referee seems to agree with us. But yeah, it's Wadji Rahman. Going back to him quickly, he's on 5 goals for the tournament.
He had a great showing, especially in the group stages. He wasn't able to get any goals in the knockout stages, but I'll be honest, I was defending against him in one of those games, and I felt like I did a very good job. I kept him out of the game.
You taking?
I think that would be an unfair statement, but.
And calls for Balak again in the final third, but Sajjad picked it up on the fast
there.
break now, and Reeb is
That's
through
a
on goal.
poor pass from Sajjad Faraj. I would never have expected such a pass. He's back out to Essen on the left side. He's pushed it back into Shajil Mir in the middle. Shajil Mir pushed it out to the right side to Mubin. He's a bit shaky on the ball, and he's able to, Dairijin able to sort of reshape and win that ball back.
Mubin playing down the right, playing centre back. He's everywhere. So, see how he fares in the dying moments of this game, because it is a game of fitness. It's a high intensity game.
Sajjad Faraj loses the ball out to Tafiq. Tafiq with a great.
And Balak is in behind, and Balak has got the last touch, and it's gone out for a goal kick. That is there to be a nuisance, not allow. And I
think when it comes to the chances, you're seeing Diary to really knock on the door now. They're playing the way a pass in behind the defence has been almost perfect. It's just the final minor touches, especially by Hasib Chima. He's seeming a little bit behind the curve of the game right now. He's had a few chances, but obviously with his back to goal, even there, it was obviously a 50-50. But sometimes those can go anywhere. So really looking at 2 top of the range teams, just sort of going band for band, just against each other, just really sort of cancelling each other out at the moment. Both teams have great strikes, great attacks, great midfields and great defences. And right now, Tafiq versus Mubarak in the middle is a great battle. You're seeing Waji against Mubin and Shajil is a great battle, and against Shajat on the right against Musa is a great showing as well. As Shajil actually loses the ball to Tawfiq, Tawfiq puts the ball through. A very, very strong challenge by Mubin, but I think even from this angle, it seemed overly zealous, but I think fair ultimately, as he was able to still get his foot on the ball. As Betanur are struggling to really keep Tawfiq under control right now, as he wins the ball back again, pushes it out to Balak on the left side. There's a runner in the middle. I think the game's been stopped as Balak made the attempt to cross the ball. I don't see which defender is actually down, but he looks like he overextended his knee or his ankle, and we just there's a request for the medical team to actually get across to them, but they seem to not be maybe not in need at the moment, as he seems to be getting to his feet. He's explaining to his own teammates that it was more, I think, impact, maybe even a tactic, you could say.
Yeah, it looked like, Hasib got the ball and then, there was a bit of a follow through. But, gamesmanship is gamesmanship. Shout out to the doctor on call today, Tahir Chaudhry Sahab, Dr. Tahir Chaudhry Sahab, who we've got here in case of any serious incidents. As a great, well-lofted goal kick is taken, and Essence Sahab doesn't want to be involved with it at all, it seems. A substitution has been made. Hasib Chima has taken himself off. He might have picked up a little knock there.
Yeah.
And Tosif is now playing on the right wing. It's going to be a different play style from Tosif to Hasib. Hasib is more in behind, a bit more direct, whereas Tosif is, a come short sort of player. And another great ball over the top. These have really worked for Thai region so far. As Shajil gets across and forces out for a throw in.
I think also we're seeing a little bit of a change of formation. I think Tawfiq is really sort of giving himself a few minutes to breathe. He's dropping deep. Even now he's sort of lingering at the back post. Uzair's really struggled in this game so far. Someone who's potentially in the shots of being the player of the tournament for Thai region. He's been unable to really get himself into the game so far. I think we've not really said his name much. And Hasib Chima, I think he's sort of feeling the effects of the intense game. That's something we've seen him manage well about himself over the years. That's why he's able to even play at the age of 40. Not only does he keep himself in good nick and good shape, he manages his minutes in a game to know when he can be most effective. I think overall, like we said, it's been quite a tentative game. Both teams know that they're not trying to give too many chances away. And you see that in the professional game as well. Teams, when they get into finals, it is, even if two teams are at a very differing sort of level, they don't tend to go gung-ho off kick-off. They seem to see themselves into the game. I think we'll see a much better second half. I think Thai region know that they've got to play or a certain style that can really cut open Betanur. We've seen it. Zayn with a few dinks in behind, even Tosif with a few dinks in behind, Tawfiq with a few dinks in behind. Hasib's just not been able to actually get on the end of it. If you can really nail that ball down and able to pass it across, Vaji's always in the box. You can see him. He's a poacher. I think he loves to get a goal on the line. He's that kind of a goal line sort of striker. And it's something we lack in certain elements of Jamaat. Football players just tend to try to do everything. Just learn to put the ball back in the net. You'll be the most effective player for your team.
Certainly, I think Thai region have had the better chances.
Yeah.
They've had a few opportunities go just past the post. It does seem like Bethel Nur are missing their talisman, Rehan. Essen hasn't come to the games just yet, but I'm keen to see how he does in the second half. I wonder if they're going to raise the intensity. Changes are going to be made. I would think for Thai region, I would keep it the same. You're playing well. You've had the chances. You just haven't converted, and the more chances you create, eventually it'll go in. It should go in. So get the fluids on, get your mental psyche right, get back on the pitch, and then really push on early in the second half.
I think one thing with Betanur is, like you mentioned, actually their talisman, their main attacker, their main threat is not here, Rehan. So for him to be missing and a player at such a young age, you've got Arib Khan, I think, who's playing strike. He's been eaten out of this game so far. Zayn and Musa have been, absolutely locked him off. They've not. He's a smaller frame, smaller sort of physique. Not able to really get in the game. I don't think physically they've just dominated him. So in that sense, I think what they suggested sort of tactic Betancourt might be speaking about now is trying to get a more able body to be up in strike. Someone who's more physically able to sort of battle with the intensity and the physique and the physicality of the Thai region defenders, because right now Betancourt are building the play up very well, but they're not able to really get over the line. And the final third, you're seeing the pass a bit wayward. Arib Khan is struggling to keep the ball under his feet, whereas on the other side, you're seeing Thai region really being a bit more effective on that front. But I think Betancourt should really just be a bit more positive. That look, as much as we've given away to Thai, it's still 0-0. The game is still there to be won. So I think it's anyone's game at the moment. But we're hoping to see a few more goals for the viewers in the second half.
And this is where champions are made. This is where the big names have to step up. Essen, Sujat, Mubariz, they're going to have to take this game by the scruff of the neck. And the same goes for the opposition Thai region, Hasib, Waji, Uzair. Uzair has had a very quiet first half, so he's definitely going to be looking to make an impact as Ibrahim sends a big one up, and Waji takes a great, what looked like a great touch, but ended up being intercepted by Mubin. And Sujat Rej picks it up edge of the box, tries a bit of trickery, but again, Musa showing his experience with great positioning to intercept and win possession back for his team. Allowed Tafiq to have a few touches in the middle of the park, spread the play out, brings it back again. Tafiq does, and this is now Thai trying to stamp their authority on this game.
Stamp the assertiveness of this game. They're playing their way now. Hasib Chima really well to roll Essen there and draw the foul from Essen from the Betancourt player. So now again in a dangerous position, they really need to take more care in these free kicks and these set pieces, because they're usually very, very effective from these positions. We see Wajid Rahman, he's standing over the free kick. We see Tawfiq Khan, does he want a bit of it? No. Wajid has told him to leave it. He's feeling it.
Wajid's got the aura there.
Wajid seems to be aura farming there, so he's able to
just stamp his authority on this one. Yep, pal, this one's mine. As Danish gives him the yards. And there you go, that Ronaldo stance. Can he convert here? It's a strike into the wall. I think he'll be disappointed. But it's gone out for what I think is a corner. Sorry, I think that's the throw-in. Waji again taking that throw-in. They're shouting for it to go back post, but no one's there. Oh, Nasib Chima over the header, and it's a great save by Umar Bhatti. Great presence of mind on his line, aware, ready for whatever header comes his way, and he is able to collect, catch, and not drop it. And Nasib wins it back again with that great press of his, and Essen comes in and intercepts him. Mubarak takes on a few men.
I think what we're seeing here is the game opening up. We're seeing players really think, okay, my name can be up in lights here. I can be the one to win this for my team. We're seeing Hasib really make that effort. We're seeing Mubarak with his drives as well. Wajir really sort of, he's hustling the ball there. He's got the ball. He's in the
there.
Box. I think he's won a corner for his team there.
But Mubin is all over him. Mubin is, he's not letting him breathe. He's not letting him get a good first touch. He's really pushing on the second touch if he gets that far. And, he's really giving him a run for his money there. And
the chances of them really converting from one of these corners now is high. They've had many chances now. Again,
that's a great effort. That's not an effort. That was a corner. Sorry, I apologise.
That was high, wide, and not very handsome.
As both teams want to reset themselves for this throw, Arib's found himself in a bit of space there if they can get the ball to him quickly. The ball is in behind, but Musa again well positioned and gets the first ball, gets the second ball, and sends it out to his centre-back partner Zayn. Zayn sends a great ball over the top, but unfortunately it's a bit misdirected.
That was a great. We had a little technical difficulty. One of the young streakers entered the fray again, as Betonur really pushed forward there. Mubaz with a drive effort on goal, but it was deemed to be an unfair challenge from behind. We seem to see the heavens opening up now, as the rain has started to fall. This might actually allow for a bit more of an open game as the pitch starts to open up. The play starts to be a bit more fluid. And now we have the Shujat Verdech on for one of his most lethal sort of aspects of his game. His left foot from a set piece tends to end up in the back of the net. As he lines one up. Great defending from Thai region. The strike was a bit low and attempted to go under the wall, but even then for the Thai region to make sure that they're able to clear that was fantastic. As Musa heads the ball out back into the middle of the park, as Essen
just a bit too short there. The ball goes over him. Hasib's got a bit of space. He strikes the ball. It's a great save. Fantastic save by Umar Bhatti. The big man gets across, gets a big strong arm to it, and the ball's out. But Tahir regained possession. And Ariba's nicked one off for Musa here. Now he's running down the wing. He's got Essen across him. He's gone for the shot. And again, it's an easy collect for Ibi. And again, now this is really becoming end-to-end. Tawfiq picks up in the middle of the pitch. He's just lost his footing there, but he's recovered there. And it just settles it down there.
Slightly settling the game, but what we're seeing here now is just back and forth. Musa with a great ping out towards Hasib Chima, back into Uzair. The ball's out wide to Shujat Varech now. And like I said, the ball's opening up. Arib is in behind the defence. Can he find the player in the middle of the box? Finds Essen Zafar. Essen Zafar goes for the left-footed effort. Now Wuji is driving out. He's dropped deep to collect, to get himself more involved in the game. Back to Uzair. Uzair playing it back to Musa. Just sort of settling their nerves now. You know, they've been had in the last 5-6 minutes with a few balls in behind. So it's back with Zain Mir now running down the right side, back into Hasib Chima. Hasib puts the ball across.
Ball's played across. It's found Uzair, but his touch isn't there. Yeah, I think he should have tried to finish that one off with his first touch, but he wanted to take one touch to settle it and then to finish it. But unfortunately, unable to do so, and the ball's all the way back in their own half for a throw now. And again, you know, Betelnoor had that chance there. Musa for the first time this game, you know, a moment, a lapse of concentration, gets nicked by Arib, doesn't recover. Arib goes for the shot when he maybe could have gone for goal, for the ball across goal. But, you know, we're still square at 0-0, can you believe?
This is lining up to be a very intense final 10 minutes in which we'll see which team really can break that mental barrier and that physical barrier. Because like we said, 40 minutes under this heat, it's difficult for these players in this circumstance. Win the game team.
You wonder, is the pressure of trying to win 3 in a row coming up now? Is the pressure of, you know, trying to break the curse coming up? As Ibrahim comes well off his line with a strong header, sends it all the way back to the other half.
By the way, that is absolutely fantastic keeping, because he saw the play well in advance, came off his line to about 20 yards out. As the ball is played out, Dairijin really putting in a few very strong challenges.
Essen had a bit of space there, but Uzair was so fast to get out. You know, that's what I really like about some of these players. You might not be having a great attacking game, but you know what you can always do? You can always defend with your heart. Yeah. And that's what, you know, that's what it's all about, playing with your heart. As Wajizin, he's rounded the keeper. He's taken another touch. Oh, and the keeper's recovered it. Should he have pulled the trigger there, even though the angle was a bit tight? Yeah, I wonder if he was receiving communications from his team on whether the pass, the cutback was on, or whether he should have shot. But he tried to take one more touch, and, you know, Umar Bhatti, the great goalkeeper, potentially goalie of the tournament, it recovers, picks it up.
I know Vaji, and in the position where he tends to always have shooting in mind. So for him to not shoot there, surely the angle must have been too tight. As Umar Bhatti pings it out to Uzair Khan, great touch and collect from Wajir Rahman. And again, solid defending for Shajil Mir. They've really done well, both teams defensively, to sort of nullify the attack so far.
You know, there is certainly correlation between Shajil Mir's turning up at Betelnoor region and suddenly they've started winning. Despite, you know, the 3 long-standing players, you know, Rehan, Mubin and Suj, But since Shajil has come into that centre back, they've really become unbreakable for the last 3 years it seems. Hasib's down again. I think they're just having a word. There's definitely a bit of tactic, a bit of game plan being told as players take their position again to break the deadlock. That's what they're looking for.
We've seen Tosif line up a long throw to dink it into the box. We see where it goes. Again, Umar Bhatti extremely effective. I think we were even discussing this amongst our own circles when watching the tournament last weekend, in terms of commanding his box, in terms of being the one to punch the ball out, being dominant. I think he's one of the best we have.
And he's certainly developed in that aspect in the last few years. I played with him maybe 10 years ago when we were in the Masur region, and that was one of his his flaws, where he wouldn't command the box. He was too quiet. But there, he's come out, he's let himself be heard, be seen, and it's a big punch from a big man. As Steve finds a bit of space on the right wing, plays the ball across. Bozair unable to get the ball down, and Shajil very calmly and poisedly takes the ball out, finds his teammate in Suj, who tries looking for Mubarak, but Tosif with the absolute no-nonsense clearance there.
Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that in the game. All this playing on the floor, losing the ball in the third pass. What's the point? Show a bit of your dominance. Show a bit of your defensive prowess. There, he senses danger. He's not taking the risk. He's launching it into Rosed. Or rather, should I say, into the cars parked behind the goals.
I think he nearly hit an M4 there, so whoever's M4 that is, you might want to... Oh, there's a ball in behind, and Musa's got his arm across there, and the referee says there's nothing wrong with that. Farhad, what did you think of that?
I think it's a very difficult one for the referee to call. I'm getting shouts of penalty when it was outside of the box, but I think irrespective, it looked like a bit of a tussle, but I think it would have been a very harsh foul to give.
I think Ibrahim Mir, the man of the match of the KFL Super Cup, has come out worse. But Musa, looking calm and composed. He knows he's done nothing wrong, and we continue with play. As Musa dribbles the ball into their half, looks for his Kawaji. Kawaji brings the ball down, finds a turn, but is unable to find the pass. And now there's a bit of tussle, and Musa again coming out with it. Musa, formerly a striker, then a winger, now a centre back. As far as utility players go, he's certainly shown himself to be one of the more complete ones.
I think that's something important as well, because you see even players like Hasib Chima, he was known as a centre mid in his heydays, and now he's sort of holds himself to be a centre back or sometimes a striker, sometimes off the right, where the running is a bit less required. Again, Musa, to be able to sort of adapt yourself is very important. Again, fantastic commanding from Umar Bhatti there. Great ball into the box from Musa. Balak was the danger. Hasib Chima, was the danger, and Umar Bhatti again just no nonsense, clear connection as the ball goes out for a dive.
It was a great punch from Umar. It landed right at the feet of Essen. Essen tries to take his man on, but unfortunately he's just having a quiet game. Tosif was all over him. He was taking none of that shoulder dropping and twinkle toes. No, not today, sir. Commands the ball off him, takes it off him, wins the throw for his team, and launches one right up the other end. And this battle in the midfield has certainly been 50-50. There's been far and few between. But now Tawfiq has found a bit of space at the edge of the box. He goes for goal, and again it's right down the keeper's throat, and the keeper adjusts himself and finds the outlet pass straight away for Essen. And the ball is played in for the striker, and Ibrahim Mir. He's matched the composure of Umar Bhatti there.
I think in terms of cleverness, he's definitely up there, because he himself is actually a defender, a centre back or a left back. So for him to know his area, his limits, and where he can sort of play with the ball at his feet, and not only that, with his hands, there to know that, drop the shoulder, let the ball go back into the box, collect it with your hands, is very clever play from a goalkeeper. So both goalkeepers are shown a great showing, both defences, but I think we could say it's sort of lacking in the final third from both teams so far, as Mubarak drives very well on the left side and draws a foul.
and it seems like heads have dropped right now for both teams. Fatigue has definitely set in. It's been a hot day. It's been a tough battle. The 1v1 matchups in this match have certainly they've exhausted each other here. Betancourt have made a few substitutions. Mubarak is not happy with his footwear, and he's gone off for now. Suja stepped up to take another free kick. Mubin is giving him some signals of how he wants it, where he wants it. And Essen is at the edge. Essen strikes, and Essen has done it! It's a great goal. They've definitely trained for that one. That's off the practice pitch.
That's straight off the training ground. I mean, from us in the commentators' box, we could see Essen showing the intention to drive to the edge of the box. It was a great, perfectly weighted pass, straight on a plate. The caress on the pass was perfect from Shujat, and Essen just had to side foot, absolutely nonchalantly side foot it past Ibrahim Mead, who I think, showing from his facial sort of expressions, you could see that he was disappointed that went past him, as Hasib Chim is absolutely clattered there.
Yeah, Hasib has definitely been taking some hits, but that's a Betancourt type of goal, where they've been slugging out, trying to win the possession, but at the end it's a moment of magic from Sujat to find the pass, and it's Essen showing us why he should have been player of the tournament last year. He showed up for the final. He has been quiet all game, but big players turn up for big moments. As Ibrahim picks the ball up in his own half, he's gone for goal, and Umar Bhatti has been forced to make a save there from one keeper to another. That would have been indeed something no one would have foreseen. As Essen and Ibrahim exchange a few cheeky words there, Waji goes out to take the corner, short to Musa, gets the ball back, and it's just a poor pass again from Waji. He's let his head drop, and I think he needs to pick it up because his team needs him now more than ever. But again, Umar Bhatti showing us his class.
I mean, that is a fantastic save. I think even in terms of you need naturally the height to reach from one side of the goal, blindsided by having maybe your own defenders, their attacks, everyone in front of you, because the goalkeeper took the strike. Yeah. So for him to be able to get that on target and for him to actually save that was great. The ball's into Waji. Waji Rahman takes a shot. Unfortunately, he drags it. He drags the shot. It might really be playing on his mind now, this being his fourth attempt at victory in Islamabad. It really might be playing on his mind that this might be a fourth time where he's unable to take the victory home.
Yeah, certainly he's been here 4 times. One time, the first time he was here for the third place playoff. 2 years ago, he was here with myself and yourself for the KFL Super Cup final, which we lost. Last year, he was here with Thai Region for the first of the 2 back-to-back finals for these 2 teams, which didn't go his way. And now he's up against it. Betancourt have, really let us know what they're all about. They've taken the lead in this game, and it's up to him and his stars to get them back in the game.
But I think we can't be too harsh on him. You have to be in it to win it. Some players come here for a fun day out with their families 4 years in a row, haven't ever once seen the pitch. So to be able to see the pitch 4 years in a row, testament to how good of a player you are. As he reaches the ball in the half, he one of them. Again, a weak call for a foul, never a foul. As that's slide on Ibrahim Mir, the goalkeeper. But I think Thai Region are really trying to. They're losing their heads here. They're really sort of playing with all sorts now. The ball at the back, complacency, losing the ball, lack of concentration. I think it's really playing on their minds now.
Musa apologising to Ibi for that, that weak pass. As the ball goes into the box, Musa's done it! Musa's found himself unmarked in the back post. A great flick on, and it's been, he's just ready to receive it. He's stuck a foot. He's put it into the top corner, and here we are, back to square one.
Back to square one. I was a little bit distracted there, but to see such a seasoned player who's, again, he's been one of the main players in defence. He's been really well in terms of taking the ball out. But again, as a striker, you never lose that striking instinct. And I mean, you see it there. It was such a great finish.
I think it might have been Hasib with the flick on there. So, that's an average age of 37, linking up for that goal. Well done to the veterans of stepping up when the youngers, seem to have fallen off a bit. And this will breed the confidence in the youngsters to, now go out and chase the game, chase the win. They look down and out, they look like their heads are dropped, but that's all it takes. It takes one moment of brilliance. And, Musa was able to deliver that from centre back. It's a great throw in, putting Mabid under a lot of pressure. And, that's just, I think I'm not sure what's happened there. I think the referee's awarded a free kick there for pushing the back by Wedgie. They've been against each other all day. Keeper's called for that one as well. Very good commanding. And now Zaid has a bit of space to run into. And Sujat is on his horse chasing him back. Wedgie is in behind Sujil. Can he find the turn? Can he find the pass? He finds the pass, but it's not an accurate one. For the position. And he's won possession there. Click off it. Ball. We nearly got a goal out of it, but you know they need a different sort of player. As Steve picks up the ball in the half, Musab finds a shot there, and Mubarak has to put a head in between to stop it from landing at either Waji or at Umar's feet. And we are still deadlocked. It seems like they don't want it, yet they want it all. I'll let you get that one out.
Both teams seem to be in a. Again, it's gone back to that stalemate sort of situation. Ball back into the box.
Umar Bhatti with a save and then catch it.
Flick up and the ref's blown for time. Going to penalties.
That punch could have gone into his own net, and it would have been another goal at the end of the game. But now, this is the pinnacle of Khudan football. Now, we've had a 2-day national football tournament, grueling 2 days of group stage games, quarterfinals and knockout games. Now we've come to the Super Cup final day, where the NFT final is taking place, and we still haven't found a winner after 40 minutes. For the neutral, this is very exciting to watch it on penalties, see who's got the mental strength to finish their penalties. Ibrahim was the hero in the quarters and the semis. Can he step up again? Umar Bhatti, one of the best goalkeepers in the Jamaat. Can he step up? Can the three individuals that are going to be taking the penalties, can they make sure that they convert? It's more a mental game now than it is a physical.
And like I said, like exactly to reiterate what you're saying, that it's a mental game now because there's so much at stake. And to leave it down to penalty kicks, we all know we've all lost penalty kicks, we've all won penalty kicks. It's an element of not just luck, but can a player perform under the pressure? There's many talented players, even in the pro game, that when it comes to penalties, they don't tend to take them because they know that pressure's too much. We have a crowd brewing here. You've got a few families here. You can see the trophies just there staring them in their face. Do they want it? Will they take it? It's all down to the three players of either teams to take the decisive penalties. It's not only on the players that are taking the penalties, you've also got two absolutely monster keepers that have saved penalties, won penalty shootouts just by saving penalties. And I mean, Ibrahim Mir, we know himself, in the semi-final and the quarter-final, him saving the third penalty both times is the reason Tahir Region are even here. So they'll be banking on him. Look, we've trusted you. You've brought us here. You're the one who single-handedly dragged us out of the knockout stages and put us here. So we're going to trust you again.
I think Ibrahim saved 3 out of the 6 penalties that were taken at him. So he's certainly going to be, making a claim for goalkeeper of the tournament. Umar Bhatti, I think he got one of the most clean sheets. So he's for that glove. And we're going to find out now. Penalties are going to be taken to the viewer's left, as Betel Noor once again engage in dua.
Both teams are well engaged in their final prayers, praying that they're able to take their team over the line. Again, look, there's so much at stake. Betel Noor, the team in white, they're here for the three-peat. They're sending up one of their most seasoned penalty strikers, who has brought them here. He's been influential in every single one of their tournaments. So is he able to score a penalty here on such a high stakes to take forward?
It does seem they've sent their best taker first, which is a strategy change even in the professional game, where typically the best player would always take last, but now they want to make sure that the penalties are converted. So I think Betel Noor are obviously taking first. The keepers shake hands, and this is history right in front of us now. Last year, Tahir Region were defeated in full time. Now they've taken
at the end of full time. Actually, they had for a bit of backstory. Tahir Region actually switched their keepers as Shootout lines up his penalty. Great save by Ibrahim Mir. As we mentioned, a player. However, for the viewers, there is a rule of encroachment which we implement, meaning the goalkeeper, i.e. Ibrahim Mir in the blue shirt, is unable and is not allowed to step off his goalkeeper line. So there's a white line that shows the goalkeeper line. They're reviewing the footage, and in fact, he stayed on his line. So that penalty stands, and as it stands, Wajir Rahman is stepping up to put his team one up in penalties. Now, as a good friend of Wajir Rahman, I know he tends to go down the middle. So will he go down the middle again, or will he change it up in a final where the stakes are extremely high? He went down the middle. I think he went down the middle, and again, it's worked. Why break something? Why change something that's working?
Umar got a foot to it, but it just wasn't enough. And, Wajir's given his team the lead here. And, the pressure is now all on Essen. Essen, the man who found the back of the net in, normal time. And he's up against Ibrahim, who's now 4 out of 7 saves in penalty shootout. Ibrahim saves again! Fantastic! He extends his arm. That was going into the side netting, and he's really plucked that one out of the corner. This is unbelievable. The pressure is now completely on Umar Bhatti.
This is a generational run from any player to play as a striker, score a hat-trick in the final before, to then being a goalkeeper who's potentially put his team 2 penalties up. They're reviewing the footage, and what it seems, for the viewers who are a little bit confused in terms of the rule, there's a rule, as I mentioned, there's a rule of encroachment. The goalkeeper cannot come off his line, but the penalty stands. Ibrahim Mir did not step off his line either times. He's well within his rights, and he's both fantastic saves. The pressure is for Musa to put his team 2 would be a great position. He's absolutely that was a truly awful penalty. A bit unfortunate, but his team are still 1 up.
That was a bit of a freebie, I must say. Just because of Ibrahim, they can afford to miss this one. Yeah. If Mubin scores now and they score their third, they're still going to win. But the hero in full time now could be Willen, as Ibi's trying to make this 3 out of 3. And it's a great penalty by Mubin. Finally, one of the Bethnal players finds the back of the net. And that was the pressure. That was it. And now Hasib, the man with the most minutes in Khudam football, the man with the most active appearances in Khudam football, steps up. Can he find the back of the net? Can he take this region to the first National Football Tournament trophy? The pressure is on. This is pressure. Can he deal with it? And Tahir region have done it.
And the pressure is for Tyres. And Hasib Chima has absolutely finessed that penalty into the top corner and won the National Football Tournament for his team.
Incredible scenes here as the players shake hands. What a delightful game. What a game of grit and determination. What a game of pressure and high intensity and stakes.
I think in terms of man of the match, Tahir region, I think if we were to discuss it, I think obviously penalties do not ultimately add to it. No. But even in the game, Ibrahim Mir showed good goalkeeping awareness. But for him to take the man of the match in both games would be a bit greedy. We could say how greedy. So in terms of man of the match, you can see Hasib Chima put his life on the line for his team there. But I think ultimately the goal scorer from our end, he showed great sort of calmness in defence, sort of a leader from the back. One of those ones that doesn't speak as much, but he leads from the way he plays the football. He was driving up the whole game. He really sort of added to the attack. Obviously, scoring the goal was a massive bonus for his team. So for him, I think in terms of being man of the match, he might definitely be in for a shot.
I'm definitely in agreement with Musa. I think he was certainly the X factor in how events played out. They were 1-0 down. He's the man that steps up, finds the goal. He's the one who takes them to the penalties. Granted, his penalty could have been the winning penalty, but that's just how penalties go.
And here we have a break in the storyline of Wajir Rahman. 4th appearance in Islamabad in terms of footballing tournaments, one being a third place playoff. This was his third final in a row. He had mentioned before the pressure in terms of this game. He performed very well, scored ultimately his penalty that helped his team pull it over the line, and his team has finally taken it home. So congratulations to Tahir Region. A great performance from both teams. Commiserations to Bet Noor. But again, they can't be too upset. They've won this tournament 2 years in a row.
Certainly, Tahir have fought their way back into this game, and they've been fighting for years to be on the stage, to be the champions, to call themselves champions of the UK Majlis Qudam Al Ahmadiyya. And finally, after years of knocking on the door, they finally opened that. I think they've kicked the door down the way they have today, coming down from 1-0, 10 minutes to play, found a way back in the game, and then won on penalties. Certainly many heroes, none less than Ibrahim Mir again. He showed up with a hat-trick as a winger in the KFL Super Cup, and then saves 2 out of 3 penalties in the NFT final. I think I've never seen a more rounded performance on the day. Granted, it's over 2 competitions with 2 different formats, but he certainly put himself on the map, and he should be very proud. His boys should be proud of him, of how he's done today, and it's history. And commiserations to Bet Noor, who are chasing their 3P, chasing. And this could be the last time some of these players play with each other. We don't know how the dynamics of your region works. Sometimes you have players move in, you have players move out. So we don't know what the future holds for Bet Noor, but they should certainly hold their head up high for the last 2 years. What they've done, how they've come from just young kids who were playing in the park and just stuck together, especially Mubin and Sujad, and Rehan joining them from Fazal Mosque, and then Shajil joining them. And they've built a team with Ehsan and Mubadiz, 2 youngsters who I've seen rise. And it's nothing short of brilliant, and it's nothing short of something to be proud of. And I'm sure years down the line they'll be telling their kids about this historic run that they went on.
In terms of final remarks from outsiders, it's been a fantastic great game of foot, as they say. It wasn't just a slog and a hit and hope. Both teams were really trying to play the beautiful game as we know it. Both teams could have come out on top, and I don't think either would complain. Penalties, I think, was a fair shout, and for Ibrahim Mir to really sort of show his goalkeeping abilities was fantastic. So I think in terms of final remarks, we must to Tahir Region and commiserations to Bet Noor, but I'm sure they'll be back again.
As the regional Qaid Saab of Tahir shakes hands with his teams and gives them hugs, I'm sure he's proud of them. And we're gonna and we've got a quick post-game interview here with Waji, the man who scored the first penalty in the shootout. Tell us how you feel, man.
Alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful. Long time coming. I've been here 4 times, and to finally get that NFT final win, I'm too proud of the boys.
What was the team talk like at half-time? It was 0-0, it was deadlocked. What did you say to each other?
We actually went back to our original plan. We changed it up for the first half to try press them from the front, and then we said man for man, let's get that win.
And what were the emotions when you were 1-0 down and there wasn't much left to play?
Honestly, we had too much fight left. It didn't affect us too much. We got the goal like 2-3 minutes after. So.
Well done, man. This is a very big day for you. I hope you enjoy it, and well done. Congratulations to you and your team.
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah.
And that was Wajir Rahman. And now we've got a KFL Super Cup winner here in Mishan Khan Saab. Mishan Khan Saab, what a dominating performance there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I think we were quite confident going into the game. I know we had the kind of presence with Fizzy up top and Badar on the right as well. And obviously having a Tashan at the back, solid with his feet and hands as well. So, yeah, we're quite confident, but credit to the Manchester boys, they came down, didn't have their full squad. I know it was kind of like a bit of a makeshift team, but they gave us a good fight. They had a few chances as well. Could have gone the other way if those go in, but yeah, alhamdulillah, we won 4-0, so pretty confident.
Now, were there any tactical positional changes that happened? I'm sure I saw you start on the wing and then you sort of drifted inwards. Tell us a bit about that.
Not KFL. Airport is we played with me on the wing, but it wasn't really working. We were going long too much. We weren't getting much possession on the ball. So we switched it up. Where I went into the middle. We played some other players on the wing, just to kind of keep possession of the ball a little bit better for us in the end. But yeah, just happy to get the win, to be honest.
And your midfield partner, Ibrahim Mir, he's pulled an absolute world-class performance out there. Tell us about how you lot were talking to each other and what were the communications?
Yeah, we know it's one. Got a hat trick in the game, and obviously got the penalty shootout win. Overall,
Congratulations to you and your team. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Jazakallah.
So for outside, we've had 2 interviews.
I think it's time for us to just reflect. It's been a great day out for families and friends alike. Food, good entertainment. The weather's been beautiful. We've had 2 fantastic games of football. Great representatives from Dahir region, Betanur region, from up north in Manchester and down south with the KFL. I think in terms of football, we had a great crowd that really enjoyed it. You could see the children were very well intrigued, and I think 5, 6 of them even made appearances on the pitch. So I think in terms of the entirety of the day, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, it was a fantastic day for all of us to spend it out on the fields, the blessed fields of Islamabad, with not just us, the commentators, but you got your footballers, you got the families. So it was a great day, and we thank you all for joining us today. Jazakumullah.
Jazakallah and Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Danish. I think they won it on.
And now the player of the tournament, best individual throughout the whole tournament. That will go to Esen Zafar from Betanur region. Barakallah. Moving on to the team awards for the National Football Tournament. If I can ask Betanur region to come up and the captain coming last, please. I don't have my phone, I'm freestyling. He's limping.